Hi my friends, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Legacy Stacker, and today I'm going to review my current stock market portfolio update. And I can assure you, if you've been watching my channel, it's going to be a little different from my previous videos on this topic. At the same time, we'll be reviewing these American Silver Eagle proof coins from 2020. Coins are related to history based on the date of the coin. Coins are also related to finance, since they are real money. So come for the coins and stay for the history and finance. But first, to the computer. Now, here at the SD Bullion website, today is Monday, October 28th, 2024. The silver spot price is currently $33.64. The gold spot price is $2,738. And gold is at an all-time high this week. When I first started stacking gold, a 1 ounce American Gold Eagle was right around $2,000 with the premium, and it stayed that way for about 5 years. Now, that same gold coin is selling for over $2,800. This gives us a gold to silver ratio of 81-1. Hi, my friends. As you can tell, I've made a decision to keep my identity anonymous on this channel for security reasons. Please feel free to participate in my Million Subscribers Challenge by clicking on the subscribe button below. Do you really want to know who I am? If so, please click on the subscribe button below, and when I reach 1 million subscribers, I will move from behind the camera to in front of the camera. That's my challenge to you. Subscribing to my channel won't cost a thing, and most of all, thank you. Here's the disclaimer. The coins we'll be reviewing today are these American Silver Eagle proofs from 2020. There are 3 coins in this series. The first coin in this series is this 2020 American Silver Eagle proof from the San Francisco Mint. And as we look at the reverse, we can see the S Mint mark there, indicating the San Francisco Mint. This coin is graded Proof 70 by the NGC Grading Company, has a mintage of 200,000 coins, and based on that mintage and grade, is currently worth approximately $150. So what was happening in history in the year 2020? 2020 was a leap year, which means it had a full 365 days, including February 29th. It was also the last year of the Trump presidency. During 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic started, and from my perspective, in March of 2020, although globally, it started months earlier. This 100-year pandemic led to social and economic disruption, not only in the United States, but around the world. The world hadn't seen a pandemic of this magnitude in over 100 years. It brought mass cancellation of events, worldwide lockdowns, and the largest economic recession since the Great Depression of 1929. The stock market luckily rebounded within the same year. But there was certainly unrest as people who could began working from home. And their children also began taking school classes from home, leading to increased interaction between parents and what their children were being taught in school. And of course, people began wearing masks when going out in public and social distancing themselves from anyone outside of their family. The number of fatalities, mostly in aging Americans, varies, but most sources say over 1 million Americans died during the pandemic. I know, I usually try to cover both the good and the bad in history, but in 2020, unfortunately, the pandemic was overwhelming, and there wasn't much good news to report. But to end this history segment on a positive note, they did discover water for the first time on the moon. This discovery is significant as it may allow us to travel the universe in the future, using the moon as a base station. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was 26,890 points in the year 2020, as compared to the over 43,000 points today in 2024. Inflation in the year 2020 was just 1.23%. Yes, just 4 years ago, the inflation rate was just 1.23. as compared to our current 3.0% year-over-year inflation rate we're seeing this year in 2024. I should point out that the year-over-year inflation percentage is a bit misleading. Since it was 9% the prior year, you have to add the 3% to the 9% or 12% inflation rate to get the slightest understanding of what Americans are feeling when it comes to inflation this year in 2024. The average price of a new car was $40,000 in 2020 compared to $48,000 today. And the price of a gallon of gasoline was just $2.24, which is much less than the $3.60 per gallon we're seeing this year in 2024. The average cost of a home was approximately $392,000 in 2020 as compared to the $420,000 today. And the average rent was $1,739 per month in the year 2020 as compared to $2,340 today in 2024. There were a number of movies that came out in the year 2020, such as Greyhound, starring Tom Hanks, Hillbilly Elegy, starring Amy Adams and Glenn Close, a memoir written by Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, and Greenland, starring Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin. You may have seen some of them. Hit songs such as Rain on Me by Lady Gaga, Midnight Sky by Miley Cyrus, and Blinding Lights by The Weeknd were popular that year. Let me know down in the comments, do you remember some of those things back in 2020? Hi, my friends. If you've enjoyed the content of my channel and you're interested in collecting and stacking silver coins, you may want to check out my playlists on my Legacy Stacker channel. You can go to my Legacy Stacker homepage by clicking on the Legacy Stacker gold coin right here. Then at the homepage, you can click on the Playlists tab right here. As you can see, I've created over 15 playlists on my channel, so you can check out everything from my Morgan Silver Dollar collection, my Constitutional playlist, or even my most recent or most popular videos. Also, some interesting topics such as my Millionaire series, Dividend Stocks, or even the Fun Shows playlists. Also, did you know you can subscribe to my channel just by clicking on this Legacy Stacker gold coin right here at the bottom right hand of the screen? How easy is that? The second coin in this series is this 2020 American Silver Eagle Proof from the West Point Mint. And as we look at the reverse, we can see the W Mint mark there, indicating the West Point Mint. This coin is graded Proof 70 by the PCGS Grading Company, has a mintage of 272,825 coins, and based on that mintage and grade, is currently worth approximately $150. So let's discuss the major stock market goal that I have achieved. First, let me provide you with an update of my stock portfolio. During my last stock portfolio update, I had sold off 3 of my dividend stocks as they were not performing as expected. Since then, my portfolio wasn't growing the way I had anticipated it would. The stocks I had in my portfolio were producing the 10% or greater dividend regularly. However, when I looked at my overall portfolio, it was not up by 10%. What I feel was happening was that the dividend stocks would produce the 10% dividend, but the underlying stock would go down, say 5% at the same time. So my overall portfolio wasn't growing at the 10% rate I had expected year over year. So I sold all of my remaining dividend stocks and invested the proceeds into an index fund that tracks the overall stock market. This index fund produces the 10% interest that I'm looking for year after year on average. Doing this was also part of my simplification strategy that I talked about in my last video about my latest stacking goal achieved. If you'd like to watch that video, I'll put a link right up here so you can check it out. My simplification strategy is designed to make it less complex for my family who will eventually inherit my portfolio in the future. My goal is to live off the interest only on my nest egg, preserving it in order to pass it on to the next generation. By simplifying my portfolio, it will make it easier for the next generation to take a similar path, protecting the nest egg as it gets passed down to generation after generation. This is one way that I plan to leave a legacy. If you would like to send me a letter, a sticker, or even silver or gold, my address is right here, and of course, in the description down below. Anything I receive, I will review on the channel, as these items will be my most precious possessions. And I can promise you, anything I receive, I will never sell. They will remain in my Legacy Stacker Forever collection. The third coin in this series is this 2020 American Silver Eagle Proof from the West Point Mint with the V75 Privy. This Privy there is designed to mark the 75th anniversary of the victory of World War II. Most of our World War II veterans have passed away, and it's a shame that large portions of Americans have forgotten the lessons of World War II. Now with wars raging in Ukraine and Israel, we now call the World War II generation the greatest generation. I hope this country hasn't forgotten the lessons of the past, only to repeat them. And as we look at the reverse, we can see the W Mint mark there, indicating the West Point Mint. This coin is graded Proof 70 by the PCGS Grading Company, has a mintage of just 75,000 coins, and based on that mintage and grade, is currently worth approximately $750. Okay, so getting back to our discussion on the major stock market goal that I've achieved, let's look at this simple table I've created. It's a 20-year table. If you watch my channel, you know that I started investing in dividend stocks a couple of years ago when I made this table. I've tried to hit these dollar amounts in the balance column every year. The plus 10K column indicates that I intend to add $10,000 to my stock account each year. Now, I can add $1,000 per month for 10 months of the year, put a lump sum of $10,000 in all at once, or anything in between. My goal is to make the 10% of my investment in the index fund while adding $10,000 each year. My feeling is that this $10,000 per year goal is reasonable. This modest amount will allow me to get to my $500,000 goal, and even a $1 million goal based on the years invested in this table. Given that I have only been at this for a little over 2 years, as you can see, I've achieved my next major stock goal of $156,000, the cell highlighted there in yellow, and as you can see, I made it a full year early. So what do I do whenever I reach a goal? I set my next goal, of course. So my next target goal is the $182,000 mark, highlighted there in blue. I can reach that goal by adding more of my own money to invest, and/or returns on the stock market index fund itself. So given all of this, my 7 giant leaps are now more like 5 giant leaps. If you're interested in my 7 giant leaps playlist, I'll leave a link right up here so you can check it out. As you know, my goal there is to save 10% or more of my overall portfolio in silver and gold. With that, I'll say stay tuned, my friends, for my update videos as I continue to achieve my portfolio goals in future videos. And always remember, my friends, silver and gold, it's wealth you can hold in your hands.